The Memphis Grizzlies talk way too much crap for their own good. Hey guys, my name is Kamia, and before I jump into this video, I just want to ask you guys to give me the HBO special, and that is the Help a Brother Out. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button and leaving a like underneath this video. I'm not one for long intros, so let's jump back into this Memphis Grizzlies debacle. So Friday night was yet another example of just how bad the Memphis Grizzlies behavior has gotten and just how much crap they talk for a team that hasn't won anything. Basically, I'm talking about the verbal fight and altercation that happened between Shannon Sharpe and some of the Memphis Grizzlies player, in which an altercation and a physical fight almost happened. According to Shannon Sharpe, when he was interviewed during halftime, this is the step-by-step of what happened. He said that it all started when he made a statement and said that Dillon Brooks was too small to guard LeBron James. That's an obvious statement, but Dillon Brooks didn't take lightly to this statement. And from across the court, he shouted back, "F you." Shannon Sharpe, not being one to just back down, yelled back, "F you" to him, and he started coming over to Shannon, and that's when he told Shannon, "You don't want these problems," implying that something could happen between the two of them, a fight, who knows. Shannon didn't like that either. And furthermore, Ja Morant started walking away and telling Shannon Sharpe to sit the F down. Shannon, being, a prominent person in the media, wasn't going to take that disrespect. So he started defending himself. He started barking back, shouting back, and saying, "Hey, it's easy to talk from over there. Come right here. Come over here." And that's when Ja Morant's dad, T. Morant, who had nothing to do with the situation, came over and looked like he wanted to have a word or have a talk with Shannon Sharpe. And it got heated to the point where they had to be separated away from each other. It was a very, very hot incidents, something that happened. And even though on Monday morning Shannon Sharpe came out and he apologized for his situation, many still believe that Shannon Sharpe had nothing to apologize for. And I'm of that same camp, mainly because this isn't a one-off thing with the Memphis Grizzlies, but I wanted to use it to highlight just how bad the Memphis Grizzlies behavior has been the past 2 years. I've stated it before that it started all the way back in 2022. Beginning of 2022, when the Memphis Grizzlies realized they were actually good and they actually started getting media coverage and eyes were on them, and they found themselves as the number 2 seed in the Western Conference around the same time last year. Once that happened, they started treating everybody as if they were above them, not better than them, above them. And I mean everybody, even the Golden State Warriors. Soon after Ja Morant made the All-Star last year, his first ever All-Star appearance, confidence turned into cockiness, and it became ugly for both Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. They started turning everybody off from them. Ja Morant would run his mouth as if he was the greatest thing to happen to basketball, and Dillon Brooks would join in on him. It started becoming really, really cringe. People started getting turned off from them, and it went to another notch. They kicked it into overdrive when they invented their little dance that they do, the same dance that they did coming into the Christmas game and eventually lost and embarrassed themselves. They started doing that last year. They started grittying on teams' logos. They did that to the Minnesota Timberwolves last year when they beat them in the playoffs. It just became like excessive showboating. Confidence is one thing, cockiness and showboating is another. It's just cringe. It turns people off. It turned off the fans, and people started looking at them with a side eye. I guess being the number 2 seed in the Western Conference got into their heads. But even then, last year, they treated the Golden State Warriors as if they were better than them, as if they were above them. And if there were any other team in the league that could behave the way that the Memphis Grizzlies behaved and we would be okay with it, it would be the Golden State Warriors. They are the team that have won 4 of their last 6 finals appearances. They are the team that have made 6 finals appearances in the last 8 years. They have the cachet and literally the credentials under their belt to behave the way that the Memphis Grizzlies do, yet they don't, because they're mature. They know there's more to the game than showboating and trying to come off as the macho tough guys. They know better than that. Fast forward to the offseason last year, in which Ja Morant did an interview with Bleacher Report's Taylor Brooks, he came out and he said some blasphemous things. He said that he would cook Michael Jordan in a one-on-one. And of course, that's absurd. You and I know that's completely absurd. If he already pissed off a lot of people before that statement, he pissed off the Michael Jordan stands. He just pissed off everyone that watches basketball, that has a brain. It was an absurd comment. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to say Michael Jordan's better than you. No one's gonna think less of you. Like, all it does is just shows insecurity. Like, trying to overplay the tough, macho, overly tough, confident guy, it just shows insecurity. I want you to name me one time LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, or any prominent player in the last 20 years has ever said something like that about Michael Jordan. Never, even though they're confident in themselves. It just makes you look like you're insecure, right? It's like, it's okay to give Michael Jordan his props, his flowers. He's the best player ever in the game's history, right? So that was just cringe. Then last month in December, Ja Morant comes out and totally disrespects the Western Conference. He says that there is no team that he and the Memphis Grizzlies are worried about in the Western Conference. They are only worried about the Boston Celtics, which is a total slight to teams like the Denver Nuggets, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Phoenix Suns, the New Orleans Pelicans, all of these teams I just named are capable of knocking out the Memphis Grizzlies in the playoffs. The Memphis Grizzlies would look so dumb if they got knocked out by any of those teams in the playoffs. People would ask, where's all that talking now? And that's the cringe that we're talking about. You're setting yourself up for such a big failure. You're setting yourself up to be clowned so much if you don't go to the finals, right? That's a high bar. That's a very high bar. I get confidence, but there's a point in which confidence just turns into cockiness, and it turns a lot of people off. And that's what I've been seeing in the NBA community. The NBA community on social media, it seems like no one likes the Memphis Grizzlies at all. Every time I turn on Twitter and I see a post about the Memphis Grizzlies or about Ja Morant by SportsCenter or ESPN or Bleacher Report, when I go into the comments, all I see is people commenting clown emoji, people commenting cornball. The Memphis Grizzlies have just tarnished their image. They had the opportunity to be the young up-and-coming team that everyone loved, right? That everyone just loved watching and being around. They have tarnished that image. People want to see them get beat now, just because of how much crap they talk, because they talk as if they've won everything under the sun. It would be one thing if they'd won at least 2 championships in the last 4 years. Nothing. Ja Morant especially has really started to tarnish his image. I really used to like Ja Morant. I thought he was cool. I thought he was awesome. Now I'm just so turned off from Ja Morant. It's the same thing with guys like Desmond Bane and Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks, no one likes Dillon Brooks. But their behavior, the overplaying of the tough macho guy, to the point where what? They're gonna fight a 54-year-old Shannon Sharpe? Like, be for real. Be for real. You're not gonna, come on guys. Be a little bit more mature than that. Fans say something to you. It's okay. Like, you can just tune them out. You don't have to respond. You don't have to play this overly tough, macho, we are the guys, like, relax, bro. In that particular game, it wasn't just Shannon Sharpe that they had a problem with. Earlier on in that game, they got under LeBron James' nerves too. LeBron was so mad at them. He was mad at the fact that they were talking crap instead of hooping. This is a clip of LeBron James just completely embarrassing them.
But he'll go to the line and shoot some free throws, only his 3rd and 4th.
You know, the second pick, some were saying, oh, well, that's the consolation after Zion, but I'll tell you what.
Revisit that draft.
Exactly.
The referees are now telling all the...
A few moments later.
They're just scoring at will right now. They're shooting 56% overall.
LeBron! Bring it right back with authority.
They've been getting under the nerves of a lot of players recently. Players that aren't really the type to get into verbal fights. Like LeBron James. 20 years, LeBron James has never really gotten like that. Yeah, guys, those are just my thoughts on the Memphis Grizzlies and their behavior recently. If you like this kind of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like underneath this video, and until next time, kids.